So I had a few people message me that Gun Club, the most expensive PlayStation 2 game that there is, was briefly available at Epsom, wherever that is, CEX. Now, right now, um, it's gone. Like it was gone very quickly. I've never seen Gun Club come into stock before, and generally, I think that if it does, there's probably people with alerts set on it to go and get it prior to someone like me going to get it. And honestly, the problem with Gun Club is I'm not that bothered by owning it. A lot of the more expensive PlayStation 2 games that I own, like Kuon, or when I did get Michigan Report from Hell, or Project Zero, The Silent Hills, Obscure, Haunting Ground, I'm looking at them now, Forbidden Siren, all of them, I don't mind spending a lot of money on those because they're games that I actually kind of like to own as well because they're horror games. Whereas Gun Club, just I'm pretty sure it's a propaganda game. It's not a real game, so I'm like, I don't know. And the version of it that CX had was mint, and I don't believe that. I don't believe in mint at CEX because it's second hand. I really don't believe you've got a mint copy because I'm pretty sure that I've got a rule of rose over there that's sealed. I could take that to CEX, they'd take it out of the seal, and they would not sell it for mint, or they would not give me mint prices. Like they might sell that Gun Club at mint, which by the way was £850. But I bet you that whoever they got it from probably wasn't given mint prices, and whoever gave it to him was nuts in the first place. I would hazard a guess that there is a real decent chance that a game of that level might not even be real in the first place, because that is a lot of money on the line there. Especially after the Michigan Report from Hell thing, I'm a bit skeptical. And just, I don't know. I've got vouchers where I could have basically halved the price of the Gun Club, but I didn't really have time to contemplate it because by the time I'd clocked that there was one, I was already it was already gone. Interestingly, there has also been no Kuon for a while because for a while I was saying that when my Instagram hits 100,000, which is about 400 and some odd followers away now, that I would go and buy a second Kuon, or if my main TikTok hit 500,000, I'd get a second Kuon because I think that'd be funny. There's some sort of alternate world out there where I own all of the Kuons and control the market on them. Not that I'd sell them, but I think it would just be funny to say that in videos on TikTok. They'd do well. But yeah, today it's once again been about 4 days, 5 days, something like that since I've been to a CEX. I'm not checking the stock checker. I just need to get out of the house. So I'm going to go walk through town, walk to CEX, see what there is. You never know what there might be. There's not going to be a Gun Club, and it'll probably be a while before I buy something that expensive again because I need to sort of reintroduce some stability to my life first. But yes, let's head out. The weather's weird at the minute. It's like really sunny, pretty warm, but also quite windy. And looking at the forecast, it's about to get stupid warm again, where it's going to go back up to 30 odd. I've even managed to get a tan, and I've never had one of them in my life. Just because I've been doing so much bloody walking around. Not very much filming, but a lot of walking and a lot of talking. Yeah. I feel like more people are starting to park further away from the shops too. Like I always park miles away so that I can get more steps in and just protect my car, because never trust people with cars ever, just in general. And like there's quite a few people parked around, like all around, especially like dead ahead, which is like the middle ground with where they don't want to walk quite as far. But there's like, I've always thought that it's like the store manager to one of these shops. One of these shops, like near the store entrances, there's like an Audi S6, and I always think that is a rather nice car to be risking next to like the main parking bit, because you don't. Like, do you ever see people whose cars are just destroyed, like all the panels and scratched and their alloys? You got to look at them and think, if you park next to somebody like that, you're insane. Because if they don't care about their car, they 100% do not care about your car. So I will always park miles away. Like you guys have seen when I do my like long distance CX trips, that like I'll park 20 minutes away from the CX, even if it's inconvenient, just to make it easier. What's this guy doing? Anyway, let's get walking. I might go and get a white monster. I've not been awake very long. I've not had very much to eat. I've just been doing lots of sleeping recently because sleep the depression away or whatever. Yeah. Let's go. I still think it's really brave having white products in the sun at the front of these, because they'll just, especially at the minute, it would not take long for them to get wrecked. Like the PlayStations and the Kratos statues. The statues are expensive too. Today in my CEX they had the Heart Gold and the Soul Silver. The Heart Gold being the complete version with the box and the poker walker. £250. That is a very cool find. That is a bit of a shame, because when it comes to stuff like that, I will talk about this later in the video, but when it comes to stuff that's a big find like that, I enjoy making an event of it so that I can make an entire video about it, like a specific thing. I don't like buying stuff like that in these casual videos where I'm just going to see what I can find. I know that some people might prefer that because they're like, oh, it just means that you found something really, really cool and weren't planning on it. And it's like, yeah, but a lot of the fun for me is making a trip of it. I really like making trips of things and like going out and going for things. It was like that one time where for like a single week there was a coup on in my local CEX, and while it would have been a lot easier to rebuy that one than traveling for a different one, because at the time I was on about buying a second one anyway, I was like, I don't want to get it because it's too easy. It's not a big enough deal. Things have to be a big deal. It is, I don't know, it's just how it works in my head. I have the most fun when it comes to collecting cool stuff when it attaches a trip to it. Like when I'm looking around my office as I'm sat here recording this voiceover at some of the cooler stuff that I've bought over the last year and a half or so of collecting on video. Everything that is cool like that is from a trip. Nothing's necessarily just from Stafford CEX, my local, or Cannock, or Newcastle, or Stoke, my like 4 go-tos. Everything's from like Sheffield, or Leicester, or Derby, Crewe. Where else have I been? Telford to some extent, I guess, but Telford is still kind of local. Still a pretty local one, I don't know. I'm just looking around my room at some of the cooler things, and I'm very sentimental in that I will attach sort of, I don't know what you call it, not just memories, but like events to items. Like even some of the games that I've got from my childhood, I'll attach things to. Like Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time on PS2. I remember the day that we bought that, and my mother had me lie in the middle of Asda when I was like 6 or 7 years old and had to say that it was for my dad if the cashier asked. I remember her saying that. And I don't know why stuff like that sticks in my head, but it does. So I like making stories out of games that I buy, if that makes any sense. And if it was just in my local and unplanned, like that Heart of Gold was for $250, it just wouldn't mean as much to me. And it's not just about owning things to me, it's about the meaning behind the thing and creating that memory. Yeah. I suppose that's a little bit of insight into what collecting kind of means to me, I suppose, if that makes any sense to anyone whatsoever. But yeah, some cool stuff today. I did also see a Demon's Souls collector's edition that was in a bit bad condition. So I didn't get anything today because everything that I wanted that was in there is like in my like specialty bracket. Like that £250 complete Heart Gold is something that I would like to get, but that needs to be an event. It can't just be like oh, let's pop to CEX and see what there is sort of thing, you know? I like making events out of stuff like that. So, didn't get anything today, but let me put you on to an infinite money glitch at CEX right now. I clocked it while I was inside CEX. So, you know how Nintendo Switch games, for some reason, hold their value crazily well? And especially at CEX, they're always way more expensive than the other consoles versions. Well, quite frequently, Argos will do big sales on Switch games, and as long as the game at Argos is an actual game and not a code in a box, you can then buy the game at Argos and sell it to CEX for a voucher that's usually a significant jump. For example, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, as we speak, at Argos is, I think, £6.99 or £5.99, something like that. And it is a game, not a code in a box. And CEX sell that for 20 quid. So it's £14 cheaper if you just want to actually own the bloody game. But if you want to trade it in and get a voucher, it's a £14 voucher or a £13 voucher. I think you're making at least 6 quid on a voucher for each one of those you trade in. Now, when I put this on TikTok, people will always have to take it to the extremes, being like, well, you can't just sell Infinite to them. I'm like, well, of course not. Or, you can't just, they'll ban you. No. Just be smart with it. Take some initiative. Like last year when I bought like 20 Dark Souls trilogies and traded those in, I just took 3 to like several different CEXs over a little bit of time. You know, there's no rush. You just, or like they'll moan. They do this on Instagram. These CX glitches always, the videos always perform quite well on Instagram. They always complain that, oh, it'll get patched, and yeah, it will, because I talked about one a while ago, and they just straight took whatever game it was off sale for a bit, and it's why you have to act quick. None of these CX glitches are supposed to be forever. It's a sale, you know. It's a quick thing. There's always more to come. Like, you can always take advantage of the fact that different stores will pit their prices against each other, especially with Switch stuff. I don't even feel slightly bad about it being Switch stuff either, because Switch stuff is always way more expensive than it really should be. So if we can profit from the fact that CEX stuff is more expensive than it likely should be, or is on equivalent consoles like PS4, 5, Xbox One or Series X, then yeah, might as well profit from that. And to be fair, the people who are like white knighting for CX is crazy to me as well, because in reality, as long as you're getting it on a voucher, CX are encouraging that, because they just want the trade, you know. With business, it's not necessarily always about the profit and just making money. It's about the rotation of stock. Like, look at my local CX, right? Any of you that have been paying attention for a while, how many of those games have been there for months and are just not moving, you know? So they're quite happy for stuff to just be moved around, and as long as it stays within the CX ecosystem, because it's all with vouchers, they're not bothered. It's why they do the voucher system anyway, to incentivize you to keep stuff within their system, because while they may not make profit right now because of the voucher they just give you, they'll make profit on whatever you then buy with that voucher. So they don't care. It's one of them. Anyway, I'm starving, and it's only 4 o'clock, which means it's still like 3 hours till dinner and 4 hours till the gym, and I don't want to go home yet. So I'm thinking I'm going to go to Tesco and get a meal deal, and then take myself for a walk up some lane or something. Yeah, let's go. I've got the world's most rogue meal deal here. The Southern Fried Chicken wrap, a Boost Duo, and a regular Coke. I was going to go for a White Monster, but they didn't have any. What was I going to say? £3.60 now, by the way, for a meal deal. I've not had a meal deal in a long time. They were £3 when I worked at Tesco, and we had discount until about a month ago, even though it's been about 5 years since I've worked at Tesco, and the discount's now gone. So everything's a lot more expensive than it used to be. Oh, isn't life going downhill? It's only up from here. So, I'm home. I did a lot of walking yesterday. This is the next morning now. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, didn't buy anything today. A lot of really expensive stuff that I do want has popped up, but it's all really expensive stuff, and I need to hold off on that for a little bit while I just get my stuff in order. Oh dear, weird week coming. Anyway, what am I doing? What am I saying? Yeah, I'm going to go to CX again today. Just get out of the house, see if there's anything there. See you guys later, bear with me.